Hi, everybody. We're going to go ahead and get started. If you have any questions as we go, please click on notes and enter your questions. We will have a moderator. If you have any issues you'd like to learn about next, we'll certainly do that. Today is going to be focused on priming, prompting, and shotting and tones. So what we're going to focus on is using AI for cataloging purposes mainly today. So how to get the best feedback from computer vision using priming and prompting for your auctions. So here's just a breakdown of some of the content we'll cover today. The AI is broken down, what is LLM, for example, and what does everything mean? How does priming work? How does prompting work? And some more details. We will send this out to everyone after the fact. So if you have any questions, you will get a video of today's presentation. And if you have any questions, of course, let us know. Really want to focus on the basics of AI first. AI is new. AI has really come out of nowhere with auctions over the last 6 months. I relate it to online auctions when COVID broke out. It just disrupted the industry and really changed how we did things. Our background is in online auctions. We've done over 1 million lots on bid, and then we pivoted to our own software model that was proprietary at first, and we felt like it should be shared with the industry. So we've redeveloped and developed with the help of a lot of different clients to get our system better, but it's not about the system today, it's more about AI. So if you think about AI and a large language model, think of it like the biggest library in the world, right? It's read all the books, it's looked at all the websites, it's looked at all of our emails, it's gone through all of our social media accounts, it knows just about everything. So the fact is AI is ready for us. Are we ready for AI? And a lot of the times when I'm talking about AI in auctioneering, folks will ask, well, how accurate is it? Is it ready yet for me? Is the LLM learning? Does it need to catch up? And the answer is absolutely not. I think what you're looking at here is just a matter of how to use AI. So Fortune 500, Fortune 50 companies, they all include AI training now in their onboarding of new employees. So that's really what we're trying to focus on for the auction industry, is giving a good breakdown of how to use AI, starting with really what's most important, which we believe to be cataloging. Of course, AI can do a lot of cool things, but when it comes down to your pocketbooks, your profitability, using AI really does boost the speed of your cataloging operations. Think of it like hiring a genius that knows everything, but it's kind of an idiot savant is a funny word that has been used to explain AI. So you need to tell it exactly what to do. It knows everything, but you have to tell it exactly how to arrive to the result that you want. So again, LLM, large language models, GPT, Llama, Perplexity, there's a million plus large language models out there now. So that's the library. It has all the information in it. Then we focus on parameters. So parameters are information within the LLM. Think of this as the books. So the books are the parameters. It holds unbelievable amount of information today, and it's always growing per day with anything new released on the internet, that is. Tokens is a word that you've probably heard. It's concise info within the books, or the words used in the books. So when you're using a free version of ChatGPT, for example, you're going to have about 2,000 tokens or words that it's going to operate on. When you get past that, the system just doesn't function well. It starts to act like it has amnesia, it forgets, it does things wrong. It's not really effective in that respect. So that's what we refer to as hallucinations. So when you run out of tokens on free version, it starts to make no sense. That's one version of hallucination. Another version could be, I put in photos of my products and I want to describe my pictures for my auction, for example. Well, the photos are blurry and they're not really good pictures of items. So that's where, getting back to is AI ready? AI is ready, but are we ready? That's really where we want to dive in and focus on the accuracy and the information put in to get the result out that we want. The result out that you want is basically the work product. So if I asked you what's 5 plus 5, you just tell me 10. It'd take you just a matter of seconds. If I ask you if you're 100% certain, is that your final answer, you might millisecond think about it, but you're certainly confident that that's the answer. But when it comes down to the work product that AI can put out, it can put out that answer just as fast. It can put out that answer much more complex just as fast. So you're looking at seconds to return a response on a complex problem, which takes minutes, weeks, months to come back up with. So using AI and the work product that it spits out is commonly thought of as cheating. It's scary. Some people want to put it down like it's the end of the world and we shouldn't use it. And these are all common threads that we've heard before. If you were to go back in time to parents, grandparents' age during the Industrial Revolution time, the same issue was there. Machines are going to take over the world. Machines are going to be the end of civilization as we know it. And the naysaying, sure, naysay all you want, but the world keeps moving. And so this is a tool that is here. It's now. It's quite possibly the most powerful tool that we've seen in our lifetimes. And so learning how to use it can have a dramatic impact on your business. Learning how to use it now and fast is going to get you ahead of the competition. Not only does it help your business get ahead of the competition, it's going to get you better work product from your teams. When you arm your team with AI, they just put out a better work product. There's more consistency across your descriptions, more consistency across titles. There's no misspellings. You can tell the system exactly how to write your descriptions, bullet points, etc., in a tone and a format that you are comfortable with. To get to that point requires a little bit of elbow grease. You have to go through what we call priming and prompting, or prompt engineering. So prompt engineering is the process of how to teach AI to answer questions, right? So you're going to tell AI, this is how you answer my question. If you don't, put much effort into it, it's referred to as lazy AI. It can be accurate, it can be smart, but maybe not as smart as you need it to be. So I tell companies that if you're dealing in, estate sale merchandise that probably isn't of the highest value, lazy AI might be okay. You just want to churn through it. You want to do, a few hundred listings every hour or so. That's where this can really help. Now, if you want to refine that for, say, collectibles, coins, guns, etc., artwork, antiques, yellow iron, cars, whatever it is you're selling, it's a matter of product in versus output out. So your work product you get out is going to be the result of the effort that you put in. So good pictures of relevant data, for example, in yellow iron, you want to get the serial number, the model number, the hours, etc. And you want to create a prompt to pull that data out and write it in exactly the format that you want. So it's all about using AI as a tool. It is a tool. That's all it is. You treat it like what it can be, and it's not as scary. It's like looking at a chainsaw when those were invented and saying, I like to use a handsaw or an axe. I'm never going to use a chainsaw. Well, that's changed. So time will fix the issue of folks that are running from the technology. It always does. It's always going to catch up, and it's always going to supersede what we're doing without technology if we don't adopt it. So prompting is the way to ask the questions. Priming is really teaching a little bit more about you, your business, and the industry, even to get your system prepared to do the appropriate prompting. So here's a quick example. I'm an auctioneer in the United States. I specialize in collectible coins, stamps, and comic books. Review online auction websites to come up with the best description format and drive the highest hammer price. So this is the example of a priming. priming it's essentially the initial context to AI to influence what it spits out, right? So you want to tell it a preliminary background of why, who, how you want to generate information. So this works not only in prompting and priming for, using computer vision to catalog auctions, it works for everything in AI. So you want to write, marketing plans. You want to have it analyze spreadsheets. You want it to create logos. You want it to create artwork. You want it to create an avatar of your face and talk like you. All these things are part of how the system works. So priming and prompting is really, the future of how we do work with technology. So think of this almost like a class on how to do Google searches when that was a thing. It's advanced now. So this is more of a very focused, advanced way to Google search. You could always do this before with Google searches, but it wasn't as intuitive and it didn't have the skill sets, if you will, the cross training to go back and find the correct information. So priming involves, putting that information into the system before it starts generating responses, right? So like look up me, look up Bert Leffel, find out more information about me and how I write. Looked at my email and run through some sent emails to learn a little bit about how I write and the tone of my voice, if you will. Review LinkedIn /B Leffel and find out a little bit more about what I've done. Now review my auction business and look into, lots sold via HiBid. Go to Amazon and review my output on items sold over the course of the last 5, 6 years. Now come up with a solution for me to write better descriptions and titles based on top hammer price sales across HiBid, proxy bid, invaluable, bid spotter, etc. That's priming. So we're going to teach it a little bit about us, what we want to get out. We're going to create that initial tone as to, what is it that I would say? What is it that you would say? What is it to arm it with the best knowledge of you, your wants, your needs on the front end? That's priming, and that's how we go about prepping the stage for prompting, which is next. So prompting is giving instructions to an AI model to generate specific output or response. So in this case, what we're going to talk about today is how to prompt AI to describe photos of auction catalog items. So that's really what our big functionality is with Listernaut. We use computer vision and we use AI prompting to really pull in significant, relevant, accurate information out of the photos. Now, again, as I said before, quality in, quality out. If it's bad going in, it's bad coming out. It's going to hallucinate. So you want to focus on picture quality. Most people that we work with, most catalogers in the industry, take pride in their pictures. They take good pictures. So problem solved there. That's usually where we run into issues. If you want to go fast, you really want to slow down to go faster. So slowing down means, learning about priming and prompting, creating the most accurate prompts for describing photos in your regard. Also, really for anything else, you can use the same priming and prompting to go down the path of future iterations of marketing plans, standard operating procedures, employee training manuals. It will put out things that historically took hours. It does it in 5 minutes. So getting yourself to really slow down to go fast is where this priming and prompting really come into play. So take the time and write it out. Once you get what you want, copy and paste that and save it and use it every time you do prime and prompt for whatever results you're looking for. So putting that information in the system, your prime, etc., is going to get you to the result where you then tell it what to do. So, write an email about our auction business to send to potential clients is a prompt. Write a thorough description of the photos taken of the items in the photos, describe them with size, weight, dimensions, item type, brand, use case, and weight, right? These are all prompts as well. So what you want it to spit out is where you really get focused and finite on your prompting. Again, priming, teaching it a little bit, prompting, telling it what to do. So you can think of prompts as they can be done a number of ways. So again, lazy AI, it's going to get you a result. It's great. It's fast. It's wonderful. It's what all of the online auction cataloging companies use, is just a basic AI description. So if you've ever used GPT or Listernaut or Auction Writer or any other platform to say, describe this photo, it spits out, a genius level response. It's way too much information. It's, 4 paragraphs long about, a clock, right? And not a nice clock, just any clock. It's gonna overdo it. And so what we like to do is tone that down into, an exact definitive explanation as to what you want. So that's where you really want to slow down, and then ultimately you'll be able to speed up tremendously. Once you get those specific prompts right, you can use them over and over and over and over for really anything in your business. So types of prompts include zero-shot prompting, which is, this is where that shotting comes into play. So you give it no examples. AI relies solely on, the generative pre-train or GPT that it is. It knows a lot. It's going to spit out what it thinks is right. It knows it's right. It's always right. You just have to tell it again to do it over. If it's not right, do it over, do it over. There's no ranking. This system doesn't have that logical thought process or reasoning. So it's getting better in that regard. But for today's conversation, focusing on getting to few shot prompting, right? So you're going to prime it, then you're going to create a prompt. You're going to test that, however it might be. In this case, it might be on photos. So if you were to go to GPT and work on your prompt and have one photo or two and throw it in there until you get the perfect response, right? When you get that perfect response, it might take a half hour or so to teach it what you're going for exactly. But once you get it, you copy, you paste it. Now you save that for future use. So using that with any model is going to allow you to put in throw in the photos, and it's going to describe the pictures the way that you want it to. If you're using a cataloging software, same thing. I'm not sure which cataloging softwares allow such a thing. I know that we do. If you were to throw in your prompt into Listernaut and then throw in 50 photos, it will describe them all the same way that you tell it to. So that's where it gets really, really speedy, if you will. Once you get that set up, it's going to allow you to really, really churn out good quality work product at a very, very high volume. It's unlike anything that has ever existed before. And the number one position that's being replaced by AI is data entry. So data entry in this regard is going to allow you to type out an ungodly amount of information in a matter of seconds. Not only that, it's going to type it out consistently, uniform, the way that you've told it to. It's never going to misspell. It can add in information that we possibly can't, humans can't know, which is, some of them know. Regard my descriptions in the best possible format for search engine optimization purposes. I don't know that. I know a little bit about technology, but I don't know search engine optimization down to that micro science, but GPT does. And so it can help you to create marketing plans. It can help you to create a better presence for your business through search engine optimization, describing all your photos, putting out estate sale items in consistent format with AI is going to drive you to the top search results. So focusing on this shot prompting and thinking through, what's the best way to iron out your most effective response is really what priming and prompting are about. Focusing on this today is admirable. So thank you all for joining. I think that what we're going to really pinpoint through this conversation and future conversations is getting ahead of the competition. You don't want to ignore the fact that there are machines that make parts faster during the Industrial Revolution, right? And so that's really all that this is. It's a new tool, and we need to be cognizant and aware that the fact that it's not going anywhere. If anything, it's expediting and replacing the need to hire so many people. But if you take that into consideration and you use it with the staff you have, you can have extreme growth in a matter of weeks. It will help to boost your profitability. It will boost your output. It'll boost your work product. It'll make it a much better work product, more concise, more defined, more exacting to your specifications. It really does act as a power tool. It's just a power tool for what we've been, struggling through since COVID. Before COVID, you could walk through an industrial warehouse, live auction, bid calling, and burn through it in a couple hours. If you wanted to catalog that same warehouse, it's going to take you weeks. And so that's really where this comes into play, is how do you make it as effective as bid calling, if not faster and more concise. It's going to be more descriptive than going through a warehouse and auctioning off things you don't know what they are. If you have a good sense of it, great, but it knows what everything is. So really getting down to the point where you focus on your photography, you focus on your priming and prompting. It's going to be very powerful tool. So you can see all the images we did in the spreadsheet are created with AI as well. So we'll talk more about how to use AI in other areas, but for urgent, like it's very urgent to focus on the fact that this is here now, and using AI to catalog should not wait another day. It's that important. It's that game changing for your business. You can see here, we're seeing a 500% lift in cataloging speed with AI cataloging software, and that's conservative. That's a conservative estimate. The system allows you to just take pictures, drop in a prompt, and it will write out 500 lots for you in about 3 minutes. So that's where it really is shockingly fast. The accuracy is in our hands. It's not that AI doesn't know how to write accurate descriptions. If you were to play around with any item and then you really wanted to focus on pulling out the most descriptive information possible on that item, you could have AI prompting and priming create a better than retail explanation of what the product is. So all retailers, all manufacturers, all Fortune 50, 500 companies, all of them are using AI to go faster. It's more efficient. It's not that it's here to replace humans. It's here to act as a better tool. So if you have a better chainsaw and you're in the logging business, you buy it because it cuts down your overhead tremendously, or it boosts your output. So whatever you want, it does. It's really about getting out the best product for you, which is really why we wanted to dive into priming and prompting. We do have more information on it. Every account we're more than happy to talk with about how to do this most effectively, and can walk you through even using ChatGPT to arrive to the best work product for your business. But it does really come down to taking the time to put in that initial investment of figuring out your best primes. Like, what are you? Tell it the best product about yourself. Save that. Then do the same thing with your prompting. Save that information, because it's not just a Listernaut thing. It's not just an AI cataloging thing. It's not just look up this picture and tell me what it is. This will evolve, as will the trainings. We will get more in depth in future training seminars to cover things like how to make a picture of two auctioneers running in a race with gavels around a track. And you see that image in the background here. That's really just prompting. I'm telling a system how to create an image for a presentation, and it did it in 3 seconds. That would have taken me, with a background in graphic design, it would have taken me 12 hours to make this image. And that's really where you want to lean on AI to do the things that it's good at and know what it's good at, and not, not let it overthrow your whole, thinking, but using it as a tool. You are AI's boss, and it's just another employee, but it's the smartest employee in the world. And so focusing on how to get that information down about yourself, your employees, your company is really what priming and prompting is all about. So this will help your company in very short order. It will help your employees as well, because they're going to learn priming and prompting through the system as well. Share this video with them, tell them a little bit more about it, because you don't know it until you know it. And we've been fortunate enough to be a part of a number of different AI training programs in Indianapolis, Indiana. We work with some of the best minds in AI. So it allows us to know this information. And it's not cheating, it's just another tool. It's allowed us to get to where we are and advance the ball. So I want to thank everybody for your time first. We do have a training series on YouTube. We also will be posting AI training as its own page within our YouTube account. It will go through today's instruction. We did another video series on priming and prompting prior to this, kind of as a teaser. This one will be posted there as well. Topics that we're going to cover moving forward. We'll talk about generating logos or artwork, creating videos. You can use the same priming and prompting to create marketing plans, whether it's social media or advertising campaigns, generating, SOP instructions, standard operating procedures for your business, refining them, really getting down to the nitty-gritty on what you want fast. You can create training manuals for employees. We'll cover how to go through that. How to create a digital avatar if that's of interest. I think that has implications we're not yet aware of. When you think about how Whatnot works, those live auction platforms, we'd like to think that digital avatars are coming up from behind now to allow you to work when you're not working. And then lastly, and probably most importantly, is analyzing spreadsheets. Using this to really do a lot of the work that I don't want to do. That most financial people can do. It takes them forever, but if you're able to get into a position where you also use priming and prompting for that, it will work across all these different areas. So it really does put you in a position to excel in your business, to use this tool like it's supposed to be used, and then to save time, save money, and really go faster with your business. So thank you to everybody. If you've left some questions in the chat, we will respond to that. We will also send everyone on the call out a video recording of what we've covered today. If you have any questions whatsoever, please email info@listernaut.com to start a conversation. If you are a client, you know how to reach us, and feel free to reach out anytime, any place. We want this to work for you. We want to show you how to use it best and encourage you to start using AI to blow up that business and expand your profitability. Thank you for watching.